Have you ever noticed how some people command a room without saying a word, while others speak constantly and are met with only polite indifference? It's as if there's a hidden current running beneath all social interaction, a silent exchange of power that most are completely unaware of. Respect isn't a request. It's a subtle psychological transaction most people don't even know they're making. You might believe it's about achievement, or kindness, or being known. It isn't. Respect is granted to those who understand the unwritten rules of human hierarchy, and these rules are not what you've been taught. They are colder, more calculating, and far more effective. The first method operates on a simple, often ignored principle. Scarcity creates value. This applies to your words as much as it does to anything else. Most people fill silence with noise, offering opinions no one asked for, detailing their lives without invitation. They believe visibility equals importance. It has the opposite effect. It makes them common, predictable, and ultimately disposable. When you speak less, you force a crucial shift in dynamics. People must lean in to listen. They must pay attention to discern your meaning. Your words carry weight not because of their content, but because of their rarity. You are not a radio station broadcasting to an empty field. You are a signal that must be actively tuned into. This calculated silence does two things. It conceals your full hand, preventing others from easily categorizing you, and it creates a vacuum of information that others will feel compelled to fill, often revealing their own intentions and weaknesses in the process. They are performing for an audience, while you are the audience, quietly assessing the performance. This leads directly to the second method, which is not about what you say, but how your entire presence occupies space. Consider your posture, the pace of your walk, the level of your gaze. We are animals, first and foremost, and we are constantly scanning our environment for signals of strength or weakness. A person who moves quickly and nervously broadcasts anxiety, a need to escape the present moment. A person whose eyes dart away first acknowledges a lower status, conceding the territory of the interaction. You must become aware of the story your body is telling before you even speak. It is a story written in the language of confidence or submission. Your physical presence is a statement. Make it a declarative one. This isn't about puffing your chest out. It's about the economy of movement. A deliberate turn of the head, a settled, comfortable stance that suggests you are not preparing to flee. This communicates control, not just over your body, but over your environment. It signals that you are not a subject of your circumstances, but a participant who has chosen to be there. Now, with a quiet presence and a confident posture, you will find people begin to project meaning onto your silence. They will assume depth. This is where the third method becomes critical, the mastery of emotional neutrality. The fastest way to lose respect is to be emotionally predictable, to be easily offended, quickly angered, or visibly desperate for approval. These are levers that anyone can pull to control your behavior. When you remain calm in the face of conflict, unbothered by minor provocations, you communicate something unsettling to others, that your self-worth is not up for negotiation. It is not contingent on their approval. This emotional independence is unnerving, and therefore respected. Think of it as emotional armor. It's not that you don't feel anything, it's that you have chosen which feelings are worth displaying. An outburst of anger is a loss of control, a temporary insanity, where you are no longer directing the interaction. Neutrality is power. It allows you to observe the emotional currents of others without being swept away by them. You become the eye of the storm, and people instinctively gravitate towards that stability, even as it unnerves them. This doesn't mean being cold, it means being disciplined, and that discipline is tested most severely when you are challenged directly, which brings us to the fourth method, the art of the graceful deflection. Most people, when insulted or challenged, have two impulses, to flee or to fight. Both are losing strategies. Fleeing acknowledges the insult's power. Fighting grants the challenger control over the interaction, lowering you to their level and their chosen battlefield. There is a third option. You can acknowledge the challenge without accepting its frame, a slight amused smile that suggests the comment was beneath you, a calm, curious question that reframes the aggression back onto the aggressor. That's an interesting assumption to make. What was your intention in saying that? You dissolve the attack without becoming defensive, demonstrating that your position is so secure it cannot be undermined by something so trivial. You refuse to play the game by their rules, and in doing so, you reveal the childishness of their attempt. This isn't about winning an argument. It's about demonstrating that the argument itself is irrelevant to your status. Underpinning all of this is the fifth method, a non-negotiable foundation, demonstrable competence. All the posture in the world is meaningless if you are not at your core capable. Respect is not just a social game, it requires a substrate of real value. People are constantly, subconsciously evaluating your usefulness, your ability to solve problems, to provide insight, to execute a plan. This isn't about innate talent, it is about a relentless focus on becoming effective in your chosen domain. Your competence is your leverage. It is the reason people are forced to take you seriously, regardless of their personal feelings. It is the concrete evidence that supports the image projected by your silence and your confidence. When you speak rarely, but your words demonstrate deep understanding, their impact is magnified 100-fold. When you move with purpose, and that purpose consistently leads to successful outcomes, your presence becomes synonymous with capability. Competence commands a specific, deep-seated respect because it is tangible. It can be measured in results, and results are a language everyone understands. But competence alone can make you a tool to be used. A highly competent person with no boundaries is merely a high-functioning asset. The sixth method prevents this: the establishment of clear and non-negotiable boundaries. A person without boundaries is a person who can be exploited, and we do not respect those we can exploit. We may use them, but we hold them in contempt. Clearly defining what behavior you will and will not accept is not an aggressive act. It is a declarative one. It communicates that your time, your energy, and your attention are valuable commodities. People will treat them with the same value you assign to them. The act of enforcing a boundary is, in itself, a powerful signal of self-respect, and that is what compels it from others. It might be saying no to a request that inconveniences you without offering value. It might be ending a conversation that has become disrespectful. It is the calm, unwavering enforcement of a personal rule. This shows that you respect yourself too much to be mistreated, and that is a powerful, unspoken command for others to follow suit. All of this culminates in the final method, the ultimate psychological shift that makes the other 6 methods coherent and sustainable. To be respected, you must first see yourself as the source of your own validation. Most people are approval-seeking missiles, looking outward for cues on how to feel about themselves. Their sense of worth is a variable, fluctuating based on the opinions and reactions of those around them. This need is felt on a subconscious level, and it is repulsive to those who sense it. It reads as desperation, as neediness, as a void that must be filled by external affirmation. The most respected individuals are those who operate from an internal scorecard. Their judgment of their own actions matters more than anyone else's. This is not arrogance. It is a profound alignment with one's own principles. Their validation comes from having acted in accordance with their own standards, regardless of the outcome or the applause. When you achieve this, your entire demeanor changes. The need to be liked is replaced by the commitment to be effective. The fear of disapproval is replaced by the priority of integrity. When you no longer need respect, you become a magnet for it. The transaction is complete. You have something they cannot give and cannot take away. You have ceased to be a participant in their game and have become the architect of your own. And that is the most disturbing and respected truth of all. It is the understanding that respect is not something you get from the world, but something you grant to yourself, and the world simply mirrors that decision back to you.